It could be Josephine. Gillian obviously isn't going to come, so the only one left is Josephine.
Josephine. Okay. I can't see her. I hope she's not trying to get in, and I hope David would have sent it. She was on last time, wasn't she?
But if you go on to Zoom, you can just click into your meeting.
Can you? What? You mean if you got? Well, I don't.
If you go on to Zoom, you might not be included in the meeting, but she's got the whatnot.
Oh.
Yeah, she's on the list.
Yeah.
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 So I hope she would be able to just click in.
Yeah, unless David hasn't. But he needs to come in and show me how to do it. Because if I go into the confusing thing, I'll lose all of you.
Don't do that.
No. I'm really not good at this, you know. David is so good. He just gets frustrated. Oh, let me do it. And
Yeah.
I've got one like that.
Yeah, me too.
I just rely on my daughter. I just have to call Kerry. Kerry, quick, come and help.
Well, I'm
it's
lucky.
wonderful. The kids can do it, isn't it? I mean, even my grandchildren can do it. They sort of live a different life than we did.
Well, Ted is useless with computers, so it's always up to me. So, yeah.
David.
Doesn't that sound familiar?
I need to check someone else, but I'm frightened I'll knock everybody off. Oi.
What's Janet got there?
Oh, there's Brenda.
Oh,
Brenda's popped on.
we've sent to Josephine. I think that's the last one because she's not getting in. Oh, what's that?
What's Janet got there?
I've got Brenda,
She's recording here now. I am.
but I've lost
That's the other thing.
Elvira.
Oh,
Elvira? Yeah.
And
How
I've
old,
lost
Who's there?
how old
I
is the
can see everybody.
Sue, don't.
David.
Hello. Say
Hello.
to the-
Hi, David.
Say
Thanks
hello
for doing this.
Oh man.
You can say you're well. What you can say? You're welcome. I did it with great joy and love.
I'm trying to do it with great joy and love.
That was
Very good, David.
Good. Yeah.
Out of that,
I'm impressed.
So is it Josephine?
Josephine.
Vera, are you having a
With a J?
Yeah.
Elvira's back.
Oh,
Josephine.
Which one?
can Janet hear me? I can only see the top of your dog. Is it?
Yeah, I think so. What's
You can't see me.
It's not.
Well, I can see you, but
No.
oh, that's right. Is it a poodle?
Yeah.
It's
That's
a
the girl.
Bichon. It's our grand
Oh,
dog.
oh, it's a
But it's
oh.
it's our daughter-in-law and son's, and our two grandchildren's dog, really.
Oh,
But we
it's come
picked
to
her up today because she was very dirty, and we've washed her. And this is her being something better to do.
She looks lovely and fluffy.
Yes, she does.
Is that your granddog? I've got a granddog.
Well, where is it?
My granddog is out. Will you send Lottie in? I don't know whether she'll come in.
Oh, listen,
Lottie!
now you see.
Lottie! Luli! Come! Lottie!
Don't you wish you had a dog?
yes.
That they cannot listen to you just like your husband.
They just
You get cross, and then once you say Lottie, or no, Charlotte is the one. But she comes in. I think she
Elvira's
might be,
muted.
I think
Elvira's muted.
Elvira, are you muted?
Muted, yes. Elvira's.
We can't hear
Are you
you.
good? Brenda's good. All of you seem to be good at this. Julie,
There you go.
Well done.
good.
She's
Janet
back.
being very good with a white fluff.
Elvira, you're muted.
No, what?
No,
Hello, better.
She's unmuted now.
Good.
Good.
So what's new with everybody?
Very much.
Did you hear? Oh yeah, that's it. Good.
Are we?
Lily.
I haven't seen Jill since we were 17, 18, have we?
Oh,
God.
Oh,
Not
I
since.
thought you weren't at any of the reunions because I was at one.
One.
Yeah.
Did I miss the one that you were
I-
at then?
I-
I don't think.
How
I
long
wasn't.
ago
Oh,
was
I
that?
did I see Jill at that time? Hmm.
Yes, you saw me at the one time.
Yeah.
Took me a while to recognize you, and then I looked at your eyes, and then I thought, oh, right, that's Pauline.
Yeah,
Right,
it's funny, isn't it? Yeah. And the voice
Recognizing voices is what I find easier than faces sometimes.
I agree.
Well, you haven't changed very much, Elvira. You
No.
just her hair is beautifully white or gray, and I remember with you dark hair.
yeah.
But that's funny because I remember my grandchildren. I showed them a picture of myself when I was about 13 or 14 in school uniform, still wearing a tunic, so I must have been around that age. And all they said was, "You had dark hair." So, that's all you can say.
I always remember us in those funny pleated gym things.
Yeah,
And
those
turning up
tunics.
turning up my shorts about 6 times so they weren't below the knee.
Oh, yeah, we all did that.
I know.
And I remember you, Pauline, you used to do something wonderful with your hat, and you had to hold it on. You had a fold in the back. I think you thought it was more sexy.
Oh,
And
I
you
probably did.
it never actually sat on your head. It was hilarious. As long as you had it on your head, you could get past the nuns, no problem. But I always remember that. You always had your hat.
Isn't it?
What
funny?
about
I don't
those-
remember doing that.
Yeah, you did. I remember that.
Do you?
I also remember those horrible navy blue knickers we had to use for gym.
Yes, yeah. We were just talking about those earlier, Jill, where we are, knickers. Oh God, navy blue knickers. And the divided skirts. Do you remember the divided skirts?
yeah.
Oh yeah, they were bad enough, but those knickers for a couple of years, they made us do that. Like, what was he thinking? You know?
Oh,
We did do our ball very
I remember seeing Jill in hockey.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I
I remember the one time it was so cold. I was in goal and I took that hot water bottle with me. It was so cold. I was standing there with this hot water bottle strapped around my middle, trying to keep warm. But yeah, I remember Pauline flying across that hockey field.
Yes, yes, I remember you were good at hockey, Pauline.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
netball. I remember you in netball too.
And what netball, yeah, it's funny, but Rebecca and the girls, my 2 girls are good at, well, Becky before she was ill was excellent at hockey and at netball. Rebecca particularly netball, she was is tall. But yeah, I enjoyed that. The only thing I always remember if we had away matches, I'd have to go with Miss, what's her name?
Oh, Holloway?
Holloway.
Holloway, yeah.
Oh, yes.
And everybody said to me, "Oh, lucky you, you're sitting in the back of the bus with Miss or front or whatever, with Miss Holloway." Yeah.
You were such a funny
How old
little.
was she when she was doing that? Because I
About
remember
90,
thinking
I
she was ancient.
About our age now, I should think.
She must have been retired.
Whistle round her neck. Oh gosh, yes. How on earth was she teaching?
got very
piano?
blue.
I don't know.
But she had that blue rinse in her hair, remember?
I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Out.
yeah.
Oh,
But the worst one was that Miss Himmel.
oh, Miss Himmel. Oh, do you remember when we used to put threads on her back? Remember that?
Remember we all asked to go to the loo and then we'd stand on the loo because she'd come in and look underneath to see under. Gosh, no wonder I'm bad at maths. All I seem to do was, I really don't understand them. I'm convinced it's her fault.
Yes.
Not
She
mine.
couldn't do them. She couldn't do them anyway, could she? And was it Miss Condon?
Oh,
Miss
yeah.
Condon.
She
Yeah.
couldn't do it either.
No.
Right.
No.
Gillian.
We had
Gillian
Miss
used to-
Quinn for science, remember?
Oh, I
Yes.
do.
And-
We
and-
were frightened.
yeah, and then
She
she
was
got married
scary.
and was pregnant, and I remember greeting her as Miss Quinn, and she was quite upset because she was very pregnant at the time.
Yes.
And it's just like,
McDonald's.
oh, dear.
McDonald's. she married.
We're told that babies came from amoeba and spirogyra. I always remember that.
Oh yes, yes, I remember
I
that.
was waiting for he died, I think.
Yeah, it's funny,
I
isn't
knew-
it? Maybe
And
it's
I
the
can always
spirogyra.
remember somebody in class saying, well, I know how it's done. And then saying, and I've got 2 younger brothers. And I said, that's absolutely impossible. I was 14 and a half when I said it was impossible. That was definitely not the way it was done because I was the expert. And my mother had just produced twins. So I really knew how you had babies. You just subdivided.
You just subdivided. Oh, hold on, am I missing?
I knew.
Joe, I haven't got Joe. No, is Joe there? No.
Yeah, like anything
We
else.
did send again in case, unless it's something wrong with her machine. So
Josephine.
she's not coming up.
Oh, what a shame.
Oh, I'll keep looking.
I wrote to Hubert.
Oh, yes.
So I'm hoping that he's, well, I don't know whether Primara is all right because I've not heard. And I think he would have contacted me fairly promptly just to say she's not going to be able to do it.
Has
Because he
Elvira
knows-
heard?
knows we know.
Elvira, have you heard from Tamara?
I wrote, a long time ago now, 3-4 months ago, and I didn't have a reply. And I'm afraid I wrote him a Christmas card, wrote him in the Christmas card too, but haven't anything.
I
Uh,
think I'm happy Christmas card.
So busy and so worried, and
Very nice, is it?
It's not nice. It's not a good year this year with this COVID and everything.
Well, that's
You know
right.
what surprised me? I got, actually, who is it? Oh, yes, it's the girl that does the nails and feet and stuff like that at our hairdressers. And she's got a little girl of 3. And I said to her, because I've seen some of the older kids quite concerned with all this going around. I said to her, what about your little girl? She said, no problem at all. She just accepts it. So they're obviously get used to it. It's important, and it's what it is. But every time we go out, and I go out and I look at everybody, I mean, it's bizarre. It's bizarre.
It is a bit, yeah.
If you sit and look, and there we are, all masks, and we can't talk, we can't sing together in church. I mean, that really, we can, ours do, but David won't go because that is supposed to be the quickest way to get COVID. And if Rebecca gets it, I mean, she's got 50-50 chance, so you can't, but it's really funny times, isn't it?
Horrible when you think that Sally, I just couldn't believe she could survive it.
Has anybody had their jab?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, we won't get ours until March here.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you
I
had
had mine tomorrow.
tomorrow? What are you having?
I had
No idea.
AstraZeneca.
Huh?
I had AstraZeneca.
Oh, okay. We had the Pfizer over here. I don't know what you had.
Yes.
But what you must make sure is that you get the second.
Yeah.
You must get that second one. Otherwise, you're left in a period of really immunity. You all sort of weird. So you
I've also got the
must
appointment
get the second.
19th of Feb, so get that done, and I should feel a lot happier.
Yeah.
Both of them then. So
what they said to me, I don't know what they said. Oh, you may not like what they said to me, because you go in and you we had to ask questionnaires and everything. You know what pills and motions, all this, and then you go into the doctor and answer all these questions. And if I don't understand it, because sometimes with me and forms it's not good, but especially with me and forms in French is very interesting. I do understand, but I'm sort of writing the answers. Any case, we went in there, and then I went into the nurse who jabbed you, and then you sit for quarter of an hour to make sure
That's
you don't have enough. And then what the doctor said is that just because you had this jab, you have to take care still.
Yes.
You must keep your mask on with people. They would suggest you keep glasses on because if people cough and whatever, that protects you as well. They said, but don't you know, you're not that, let it work, let it rest, get the second one. And then, but he said, you're always important to look after yourself with that because you might, you know, you're not that protected.
Oh,
Doctor has
I'm going to
told
get the second one.
Go
And
out.
then it's still another fortnight, I think, after that.
Yeah,
before
that's right.
they say that you are.
I don't know whether they'll give me a jab right now because of my situation. You know, whether, I have no idea.
Of course, does
I-
everybody know?
Hmm?
Huh?
Does everybody know Jill had a sarcoma removed from her knee?
No.
No, okay, yeah. I had, it's a long story, but October, November, I had 5 weeks of radiation on my knee. And then on the 6th of January, they removed the sarcoma, but they couldn't find enough skin that had enough integrity to cover the wound.
Oh my
So
God.
they could only stitch me up above the knee and below the knee, if you get the picture. So they, on the 11th, they had to put me under again and do a skin graft. So right now I'm in one of these sort of leg Zimmer things, or, you know, leg,
Oh gosh.
I don't know what you call it. Yeah. It's got Velcro straps and foam, and it's built for somebody that's 6 foot tall. Quite frankly, there are times when I get a tickle where I shouldn't. But it's really hard to go to sleep because you know you can't. The whole idea is not to bend my knees so that the graft takes. So far, it's looking okay, but I haven't seen either one of the surgeons yet. But I have home care coming every morning to change the dressings and stuff. So I'm hoping the skin graft takes properly. And then after that, I guess, I don't know how long I'm going to have to wear this blessed thing on my leg. But after that, I'll have to have some sort of physiotherapy so that I can learn to bend my leg again or my knee again. Yeah, it's been a kind of a long haul, actually. You know, it's almost a year, you know, from start to finish. So, yeah,
That's
lots of
nasty.
fun.
No.
How long were you in hospital for?
I was 12 days up in Edmonton at one of the major hospitals there, and then they transferred me to a local hospital, which is about 25 miles away from here. And then they sent me home. So I was operated on the 6th, came back to Vermilion around the 19th, 20th, and then was released on the 25th or 26th. So I've been home basically for a week and a half. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Gosh.
quite
So-
a long.
Nasty, huh? That's not nice.
Long time.
Yeah. Well, hopefully,
What
you
with
know,
COVID and being locked in and being locked in with your knee, yeah, that's double bubble.
oh, in a sense, yeah. And poor old Ted, I mean, he couldn't come and see me, so we didn't see each other for 3 weeks. And he's useless at technology, so I couldn't do Zoom or Skype or anything. I could just phone him. Well, it's taken him a while even to use a cell phone, and that in itself is a source of great frustration to both him and myself, I might add. But anyway, you know, he's learned to carry the thing. Well, but part of the problem is he's quite deaf, even with his hearing aids. So I insist that, you know, when he's away from me, that he actually puts it in his pocket on vibrate, and then at least he knows that it's buzzing him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, the other day he slipped and fell out of the garage, and it was 20 below, and I hadn't a clue really, because of course he didn't have the phone with him.
Oh, God.
no.
So, but now that has reinforced the fact that he must carry it. So far, we're all good.
You're right, didn't hurt himself. He didn't hurt himself.
He was lucky because the way we have a separate, like a garage, a double garage that is separate from the house, but it's kind of, there's a small sort of concrete area, but he tripped over the door thing, like at the bottom, but he literally propelled himself into the deck. So he had the deck railings to hang on to, so he didn't actually fall. If the deck had not been there, of course, he'd have smashed his face, but you know, or hurt himself even worse. But he was lucky. I mean, he
Good.
just propelled himself into the side and was able to hang on.
When was
But, you know,
Oh.
all the fun of growing older, right?
Oh,
You know,
when did he fall? Well, nearly fall.
oh, probably about 6-7 days ago now.
Oh gosh! So since you've been home.
and there's
Oh
usually
yeah, since I was home. Yeah.
that's with your knee.
But of course, yeah. But of course, the thing is, I had no idea because at that point I would have been in my bedroom, you know, and yeah, I guess sooner or later I would have, you know, gotten up and taken a look outside. But you know, in this kind of weather,
It's
you
dangerous,
know,
huh?
yeah, he could have frozen to death. I mean, he
Yeah.
could have been lying there, you know.
Mm.
Mm.
What can I say? Yeah, but he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah.
But he's being a lot more careful now because, you know, at the end of the day, if there were two of us laid up, I mean, our son is in London, England, right? And the other one is 2.5, 3 hours away. So, you know, it's not, and the neighbors, I mean, everybody sort of just holed up in their house in this kind of weather. It's not like there's a lot of traffic on the road, right?
Mm.
How old are your sons? Oh, sorry, Elvira. How old are your sons?
Okay, Sean is 49 and Ryan is 45.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
Problem when you get to Ted's age, or of course I'm not going to include us in that, is
yeah.
that we've become careless as opposed to carefree.
Yeah,
I always think it's just a youthful thing, isn't it? I do
yeah.
like it when they look at you and they start to come out. You know what they're going to say? It's an age-related thing. And I think
I don't want to hear that. Don't say that.
I just say it. I looked at him and I said, don't. No, I wouldn't. Please,
But,
please.
yeah.
Please don't.
Well, Sean kept telling me the other day, you know, you mustn't fall. You got to take care. You mustn't fall. And I said, well, I'm not generally falling anywhere. But when I was in Singapore, I had just arrived. So I wasn't used to, they had polished stone floors in the apartment. And he sat me down on his office chair, which had wheels, and he handed me a cup of coffee. And of course, the chair started to go. And all I could think of was, I can't spill the coffee on his computer. So I let myself go, okay, so that the coffee splashed on me rather than on his new computer. Well, he thinks that like I'm just, you know, prone to falling now. Okay. It was nothing of the kind. I knew what was happening. I figured it was the best course of action. Okay. Because I thought, well, he doesn't want all this over his keyboard and his new computer, right? Anyway, so now of course it's, you mustn't fall. You got to take care. You must fall. You know, and you want to say, oh, shut up.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, it is the danger of our age. The next thing
Oh, I know.
is falls, isn't it? I
It
mean, I've
is.
had a girlfriend, I think there are two that has a girlfriend who's older than us. I mean, she's in her 80s, 82, but I mean, she's more, no, I thought that was somebody. I think she could be something like 84, but she came out of, I can't remember, and fell down some roadworks that were up and had broken her thigh. And what else is, and hit her head. So
dear.
she's in hospital. I don't know how it is, but that's Canna. I don't know. We did Janet knows Canna. But you know, it seems to once you hit over that 8 thing, don't get there. We don't get there.
We sort of want to
Not quite
get
there
there.
yet.
Actually, talking about there, what are we going to do next year to be there? I think I like to think that we'd have a little celebration, but I doubt that we're obviously going to be able to get together other than on a Zoom meeting.
You never know. You never know. Think positively.
Yes.
Would you like to think that we do a Zoom meeting every 2 months or every 6 weeks or however many times you want, really? I
Oh,
don't mind.
that would be lovely.
Not to me.
That'd be
You know
nice.
what we could do? We could perhaps have a celebration of bringing a cake or something and virtual drinking and virtually
There you go. I like the way you think.
with a glass of champagne.
Absolutely.
7 bottles of champagne.
So what month would we decide is our birthday month in general?
Oh,
Because
well, I'm
Pauline's
October.
birthday is Janet and I and Elvira with July.
That's right, yes.
I'm in December, so I got a long ways to go yet. I'm just a puppy.
Got a long way to go. Brenda is when?
July,
July.
end of July.
So
So
it's
you could
July or August.
August is
Yeah,
Susan.
August babies, Leos.
You're a Leo.
Yes.
That's an
Yeah.
August, right? So actually, we're sort of.
When you say December, do you mean
I think
this year or
that
next
will-
year?
So perhaps we ought to
December,
have a
this
summer
year.
Well,
and a winter as well.
I think most of you celebrated in July. So what's wrong with July?
Yeah.
Mm, mm.
Are we
So we
talking
actually
this
plan
year?
that date around that.
Pardon?
Are we talking this year or next year?
Next.
July.
Next year, when we're all 80.
We're already
Oh, I hate
already in just the beginning of 21, so it'd be this year. And I've lost Elvira's got very good mouth movement, but no sound. I know, you're very good, Elvira. We can see you talking, but we've lost you. I can't hear.
You're mute.
80
Oh,
next.
that's it. You're back.
Haven't got
Well, I'll be 80 in December of this year.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're,
You're
this
oh,
older.
I don't know why I sound so devastated.
I don't.
I mean, it's
You
it's just a
certainly don't
number.
look it, and neither do any of you look that.
Well,
Look
Gillian,
as if you're in your 60s.
Gillian sent me Gillian Woodall.
Actually, you don't look, and none of us, for me, look what we're going to be.
You don't look any different, actually.
Well, I have to say that my mental age is absolutely not 80.
No,
Nowhere near it.
No.
No. I
Gillian,
don't know whether I'm going into a second childhood. Maybe that's the answer.
Gillian sent me
Well,
some
they all
will come round to you all, but she
Ah.
said best love to you all. She's so upset because she would really, really love to be.
Who's this, Jackie? Who did you say this? Hmm?
Brilliant.
Gillian Saunders.
Oh, Gillian Saunders.
Oh,
Gillian
Jane.
Woodall. She's
Yeah.
on Jersey. She said it is lovely there, but she is 9 by 5 mile
Yeah.
island at the end of the day.
No.
So should you do get a sort of hemmed in. However,
Gillian.
been very good. No, she's very easy. They are careful though. However, I really think very good.
It's nice to know you're around. And hello. Hope
Yes.
Yeah, well, give her our love. Okay.
you're going to, because she's going to have the film of us, we'll be giving her our love ourselves, won't we? But she,
Well, okay.
Gillian could have joined on the phone, couldn't she?
she doesn't have, I don't think they have they haven't got a camera on the computer, and she's not, doesn't seem
Well, you
to
don't.
be
You can
into
just
the
ring
idea.
in.
Just ring.
You
On
can
a
just ring in by phone. You don't need a computer, just an ordinary landline. She can't see us, but she could talk.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got
I suggested, I suggested that she might be able to go down to the local library if she's able to, and they would help her through the process and use the computer at the library. So, you know, that's maybe one option as things with,
it's
you know, I don't think they have COVID to the same extent as the rest of us.
I
So
don't
I thought that might be an option for her.
really, but I don't.
Yes, that's a good idea.
She said she was going to sort of investigate, because last time she missed it because they didn't, and they haven't. So I gathered that maybe they don't want to. I don't know, because I think some people are a little bit anti the developments, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's the actual.
Well, because they don't understand it. You don't understand. It makes you feel a bit stupid, like when you have to call your husband in every 5 minutes.
Her daughter, she's easily in touch with Rosie, and Rosie.
Yeah.
She's got some pictures that she's put, so I will put them down and I'll get them copied and I'll send them all round to you.
Oh, lovely.
Haven't heard from.
Does she have a cell phone?
Don't know.
You know, because that's the other option. She could join through the cell phone.
She could.
You know.
I'll have a word with her when I see her next.
Okay, dear. Sure.
But because I told her I'd speak to her over the weekend, because she's very interested in how everybody is, and she said,
okay.
For her, she said it's so nice, isn't it? Suddenly we're all together again.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
It's
I can
it's a
still
bit
picture where everybody sat in the classroom. Actually, it's kind of funny.
I sat behind you.
Am I the only one that's going a little bit deaf? Because I
No.
can't hear Jackie very well. So I'm missing half of what you're saying. You're good.
Oh no, that's very
Mine makes
frustrating.
it coming and going a bit. Yeah, the sound. You're not alone, Janet. Mine's sort of coming and going a bit, breaking up a little.
I
Goodness,
we really should only speak. We should only unmute when we speak, because sometimes
that would be
get an echo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes, there is.
I can't hear that at all.
what could
because it's not everybody gets the echo, but some people do. I don't understand.
But you could
this, actually.
put it on. That would be very. What's the word I want? Not obedient. That would be very difficult, especially for me with my talking needs, always having to sit outside or not eat my lunch talking or whatever I had to do. It'd be very difficult seeing you all there if something came in, to put you on mute and wait for you to come back, you know.
Like Pauline, I'd find it impossible as well. I just keep pushing it until I get there.
Yeah.
Very who I've heard from Sally, she sends her love. Uber, I don't know. I'll drop him a line again to say how things. I just assume that they're really
Excuse me,
desperate.
Jackie. Can you speak up a bit?
Right. This was about Tamara.
Right, that's better.
Last time, Uber had paid quite a bit of attention to the fact that we were having a meeting, and it is only a couple of months ago. But I know that it can degrade very quickly, her condition, that is. But he was very interested. He was telling her about it. And I believe that if he spoke slowly and was able to indicate things that were similar to the words, that she could understand what he was saying, because she doesn't have word association in her mind.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's a terrible thing.
Awful.
So somebody like Tamara, I mean, that is just absolutely killer. Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm.
So it's a slow process, and I'm not quite sure how you look at a bunch of flowers and say, these are the girls you went to school with.
Mm.
There's not really the likeness, is there? So, but anyway, it seems that he's been very good as a carer, and some men, they're very good because they're kind, but they're not very good with what they do.
Mm.
It's you need a bit of both, don't you? I should imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently, she also was able to go in the garden and do a little bit of gardening, and she did leave a message for me about having flowers and garden and what have you.
Mm.
So she was still able to associate maybe who we were and the garden, and she was in France. It's really, I think these things are terrible. They're so sad.
Mm.
But and then
Heartbreaking.
Josephine's got a man, and she's probably with him now because she spends Monday to Friday at home, and then she spends Friday night to, I think, Monday morning with her husband, not her husband, but her boyfriend.
A man. Yes.
He's a university lecturer. I think they sort of do sort of BML marches or whatever, but they're quite sort of prone to outbursts of, oh God, life is terrible. But yeah, Josephine's sort of always been very sort of politically aware.
She's a rebel.
She is a rebel. You know, so
Why isn't she with us tonight, do you think, Jackie?
I don't know, because I have spoken to her a couple of times to remind her that she didn't seem to, she's always rushing. She's never ever still. But when you speak to her, you can speak to her for hours. You know, she speaks like me at speed. But by the time you're finished, you're actually knackered. But she is very, very happy, because she said she was very, very angry when John died, her first husband, in case people John Sexton. And she said, I really was. She was I was unrealistically angry about it because he was too young. And she said, we hadn't had the life that we could have had. And this is the problem, isn't it? I don't know that they plan to do different things, because I think if you start to plan ahead, that's when it's a bit dangerous. If you can do it now.
Yeah.
I think we probably all learned that when we're getting a bit too told to think like anything else really. But it's but she said it was so that for some years she wasn't very good in herself, really, in being patient with people, because she would get irritated about. She'd feel very sorry, and she is very quick to give you advice on different things that maybe you wouldn't perhaps be quite taken with the advice. However, it's just
You had not.
You just listen really and go. I just go yes. And probably I should do some of the things that people tell me, but then I never do anything really. But anyway, but she was happy, and she said, we've met. He's lovely. We don't get. She said, we don't interfere with one another's lives. He does his bit. I do mine. I've got my boys and my grandchildren. It's fine. But she said, we do things. We go together. We go out. We have meals. We go to the cinema. Well, obviously nothing like that now. But she said, we have interest in the same things. So she said, it's really nice. She said, it's like a weekend partner. And then occasional holiday one as well. So that, and I presume that all the families are quite happy about the situation, because they both get their own homes.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, what's going to happen? Which one's going to die first, and who's going to get what? Well, sadly, that does go through minds, doesn't it? Because if it's your home,
I know having cancer was not on my radar. Absolutely. I figured, I'd have a heart attack or a stroke or get hit by a bus or something. But absolutely, it was not just a shock so much as like, what the hell? That kind of reaction. Yeah.
but it's pretty horrible. Very nice to get, is it? But I think that's just a person who's actually quiet is Brenda.
Yes.
She probably can't get a word, and she was never very noisy though.
No, Brenda was always a
No,
quiet
always,
one.
weren't you? Yes, she would.
Can make
I
quite
could
a-
do with some of it. I could do with that. Some of that talent.
Well, let's give her a chance to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
We haven't-
That's easy.
well, Julie hasn't had much of a chance to talk today.
Brenda Hatcombe, tell us all about you now. What are you up to? Because you weren't on the last call, were you?
No, Brenda wasn't.
Sorry, are you talking to me? No.
Brenda.
Oh,
Brenda.
I was here last time.
What?
Were you?
Julie
I
wasn't.
wasn't here last time, but I did watch you all with an eagle eye afterwards, see what you all said about me.
Oh, yes, we've got to remember that.
Didn't say anything.
Well,
nice.
I'd only just seen you, John, hadn't I, Julie? We had a lovely evening. Oh, we had a fantastic evening, a real old catch up. Brilliant.
Yes, we did. Yes, lovely.
Lovely.
Hmm.
Oh, good.
All the years fall away, don't
Yeah.
they?
Oh, yes.
Did I?
Takes about 5 minutes and then you're there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think
Nothing. Nothing.
Vera's right, it's the voice.
The thing I remember about Brenda was her beautiful hair when she was younger.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my goodness, it was so lovely. I was so envious.
I think that was Gillian, wasn't it? She had a
And
lovely
Gillian
hair.
too.
Well,
Brilliant.
Gillian did, but so did you. I got a picture of you.
Gillian didn't cut it until a couple of years ago, did she?
No, she didn't.
No, that's right.
No.
No.
I have to say the haircut really looked good.
Yeah.
Because what was nice as a young girl was beginning to look very grannified as an older
Yeah.
person.
Mm.
No, I remember Brenda though. She had nice hair. Well, for whatever reason, I thought that I wanted hair like yours. What can I
That's
say?
very strange. We don't know it's white.
Yeah, well, mine's sort of half and half. Just, I don't know. I think it's the shampoo because, or else whatever's happening to me. But now I'm getting a little more brown than the gray I had last year. So, yeah, I don't know whether that's good or bad, but it could be the shampoo I'm using. I haven't a clue. Or maybe because I'm not outside, for weeks. So,
I think drugs make a difference to your hair color too.
Mm.
You're on
but I
the
did, yeah.
drugs.
I didn't have any drugs though for the cancer. They just gave me the radiation.
Oh, really? Right.
Yeah.
Didn't have any chemo, Jill. No chemo.
No,
No.
they because of the type of sarcoma it was fairly rare apparently. Lucky me. But I guess the danger with that is if it is going to spread, it'll go straight to the lungs about 98% of the time. But so far it hasn't shown up. But they over the next few years they will monitor it. I'll have to do a scan every 4 or 5 months or something, just to make sure.
Mm.
So
Keep an eye. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Mm.
no, I was lucky I didn't have to do chemo. The radiation was kind of cool, but yeah.
Better than chemo. Better than chemo, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
How are you? Are you keeping well?
Who
Who
did
you
you
talking?
Julie?
Yes.
Oh, Julie. You're very quiet, Julie.
Oh, I'm fine. What do you want of you?
How was your knee operation, Pauline?
Brilliant, John.
Yeah.
I sort of said to Susan and Jackie when I first got on, I went over to England. Number one, it was amazing because it was in lockdown, but you're allowed to go from England, from France to England if you like, if you've got medical problems. So I got in quite easily. David and I, we sort of had a room in the Hilton that was about 10 minutes away from the Southampton hospital where I was operated on. And I chose Southampton rather than London because I thought there's too much going on in London. I don't want to go into the hospitals there with all this. And it was brilliant. I had 3 days in the hotel before I went in, and then I went in on the Monday, and that Monday they operated on me at I think it was about 11 o'clock in the morning in the end. But and I found the funny thing was I woke up. Well, I was woken up with some nurse sort of going, "Have you taken your pills? Have you taken your pills?" Oh dear. And I'm coming through, and I can sort of, I've just got there. I got this room, and there's this big light at the side on top of me. And I said, no, I haven't taken them this morning. She said, "Don't be ridiculous. It's still the same day." And I'm thinking, the sun's shining in my eyes. It was the light of that bed. Any case, we finally got through that. I had taken the pills that were necessary. And then the next morning, they got me up and got me walking on the thing. But it's a very good operation from healing point of view. The only thing that could go wrong, I suppose, is that you don't accept the implants that they put in there, because they cut half the knee and they coat it with metal, so it stops that rubbing. And then he's made Professor Barrett has made the oh gosh, I always forget that. I got it right.
Cartilage.
Yeah, cartilage.
Cartilage.
Right, yeah. He made the cartilage in plastic and put it in there, and then sewed it up. And the next day, you can walk on it. The only thing you don't want to do is go sideways. You know, but it's very good actually. I mean, because it's 11th, so 11th of January. Had it done, it's pretty good. And there I'm walking around the garden with the dog. I take her for a walk on the lead to look after me around the garden. Can you believe it? And she's sweet. She quite likes it because I talk to her, so she's being my friend and looking. She's these retrievers. I think they're very good blind dogs and things, you know. And she watches and she looks back when I'm going down phones, and she doesn't pull. Whereas with Giles, her daddy, she just goes crazy, you know. And she's very good with me. Bless her.
She reminds you of Tama.
Oh yes, I keep calling her Tama. I
Do
keep
you?
calling her Tama, but
Yeah.
she's got the frilly bits everywhere. You know, she's not the plain thing. She's like the golden retriever, and they got like frills under here. Quite pretty, but that she's saved Rebecca really. She's her baby that she'll never have, I think. But she's yeah, that's good. But having said that, how did I get onto that? The operation went very well. We stayed for 3 weeks fine in the hotel, although I was in the middle out a bit, but David had to quarantine. And gosh, all they had was breakfast. They had no lunch apart from sandwiches, which I can't eat because I'm gluten problem. And then evening you could get some food, which was only one dish that was gluten-free or something, as I got bored with that. And we got Indian actually. But gosh, we had breakfast because we thought, I remember my nanny saying to Nanny Hef, she used to say, "Breakfast's the best meal, dear. You eat a good breakfast, it'll last all day." So I said to David, "We'll do that, and we won't eat, you know, much like that." But blooming heck, I think they put it in the microwave because the egg and bacon would come. I mean, the bacon would be really not crunchy; it could be hard. You're hungry, so you sort of eat it. The egg was like rubber at the end, so I'd cut round the white bits, you know. And then what I've learned from there is I have a mashed banana every day now, because that was the thing I liked there. That's the only thing I really enjoyed there, with an apple, if you like. Except the Indian food wasn't bad as a takeaway, because it stayed hot, and you know, so we sat there, we did our little thing going round about, and it's quite a long time, but I didn't feel good. I didn't feel good after the anaesthetic. I think it was a couple of days afterwards, or I just felt queasy and sick. My stomach wasn't good, and you know, they send you home as quickly as they can because of the COVID thing. I think they don't like to keep. They're proud that their hospital is COVID free. you know.
Mm.
Oh, but thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's made a big difference now. Because I can at least walk without really, oh gosh, before the pain was excruciating at times when the bones got going together.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm very pleased I had it done.
Well
Oh,
done.
that's good.
Good.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll have to pray about your knee, Jill. We'll keep that going so that it all heals magnificently.
Yeah, there you go.
There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah, I'm gonna have kind of a weird scar because like they literally sort of cut a hole in me on the side. So I just thankful that I'm not 17 or 18. At my age, it doesn't matter anymore. But if someone had that as a young teenager, it would have been horrible, put it that way. But yeah, you know what? So it grosses me out. It's not going to show to anybody else. So.
Yeah. Yeah. It's difficult. You'll have to accept it a bit. It's early days, Jill, isn't it?
It is. If actually the worst part of it has been wearing this leg brace, because I honest to goodness did not feel any real pain after either one of the operations. I mean, yeah, you feel some discomfort, but they kept trying to push some painkillers on me, and I said, well, I don't need them, you know, or maybe they were just trying to shut me up. I don't know.
Go.
Believe that.
Jill, I was thinking that my two boys are about the same age as yours.
Are they?
51 and 47, 48.
Right.
But that's about your age.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not your age, your son's.
Well, my son's age, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, when you had snow in London like a week or so ago, their kids, like Sean and Laurie's kids, they hadn't seen snow for 8 years. So they were actually sort of mesmerized by this. And then, you know, Sean finally got them outside and they threw snowballs at each other for 45 minutes, I guess. It's like, they were quite happy about it, you know.
Will you snow tomorrow night?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yes.
You are in England.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Are you, Julie? Are you expecting it?
No, we're a little bit further west than where they predict the snow.
But Elvira, you'll get it.
We'll get it, yes.
Yes.
Quite a bit.
I hope you've got all your food in.
This evening, actually, just half an hour before we started talking to each other.
Delivering.
Ainsbury once a week, and it's just so. Talking about that, I think it's about time I got my man some food. It's in the freezer or the fridge, but it needs cooking.
Well, where are you located, Elvira? Where do you live?
Kent, Seven Oaks in
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I remember.
30
Okay.
miles from London.
Right.
Brenda, where are you now?
Is that me? Norfolk. Norfolk.
Oh, yes. Because we had this, because Fiona's in Norfolk. It's coming back to me now. Yeah.
I'm actually in a village, in a little village, and we're expecting snow on Sunday. 6 inches.
That's right now.
Are you,
wow.
are you-
Brenda, how close are you to Hunstanton?
sorry, are you in
Sorry?
Bridge?
How close are you to Hunstanton?
How far? 3/4 of an hour drive.
Okay.
Not too far. No.
What's that?
My brother's got a flat there.
I'm south of King's Lynn, north of Downham Market.
Yes.
Never heard of them.
No, I have. Because,
They're
yeah,
up on
yeah,
the woods from there, some of them
yeah.
are allowed out.
You've had, sorry, I can say you've had very much less cases in Norfolk, haven't you, of the COVID?
Well, I
It's
suppose
growing up now, I hear. Fiona's at school, our daughter Fiona, she's 40, she's 14, no, she's 50. James, she's 50 and Fiona's 50, James is 52. So yeah, I can't believe it. When I'm not with them and everything, I sort of still think of them. I still see her at times with Janet when she used to crawl around with that little navy blue dress she had on with always frilly knickers, and she would always mess them up. Always have different things. It's funny the things you remember, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, silly thing. I think
You're going back an awful long time.
Hmm?
You're going back an awful long time
I
now.
know.
You are going back.
Yes.
I know. I get some of the memories. I think, oh, I'll forget that one. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Oh.
Has everyone got
You
Sorry, I was just
outside our house.
your garden for it.
Oh,
Remember with Mara, all the kids, my kids, your kids. Janet, you were there. Do
Yeah.
you remember being in Pauline's garden?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yes, I've got pictures of that somewhere.
Yes.
So, and
Mara was there, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was a few years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
yeah,
Years ago.
So
They were
have you
all-
all got children? You've all got children.
Yes, and grandchildren.
Yeah. I've only got 2 grandchildren.
I've got
Have you-
5.
Has everyone got
What, Sue?
has everyone got 2 children?
4
You've got 4, you've got 4?
Grandchildren.
I've
Oh,
got
4
two,
grandchildren.
4. Yeah.
5 grandchildren.
Oh.
Grandson, granddaughter.
I've only got 2, unfortunately.
I got
What?
2.
Tasmania. So that's an awfully long way away.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
So I haven't got any grandchildren. No children.
Oh, boy, my grandchildren are grown up now, so I've got to wait for great grandchildren to have cuddles.
Yeah.
They're all
Cuddle in this blooming COVID thing, can you?
no. Well, I can see Kerry because she only lives up the road. I don't see her grandson. She won't let them near me because she said, I don't know what they get up to, Mum, and I'm not too sure about them, but I bubbled with her, so that's okay. But I can't see Sian. She's up in just outside Stroud with her 3. Well, her 3 are all dotted about now doing various things. I haven't seen her for ages, but we chat on here, but I can't see her. But she's busy. She's isn't it funny that I've got 2 teachers? Do you know, it always makes me laugh. The teachers at St. Joe's die laughing and think that Susan James actually produced 2 children as teachers. I mean, it's hilarious, isn't it? I think it's hilarious, honestly. Me, who never had respect for any teacher in my life. Oh no, she has to go into work, Sian. She's deputy head, so she's got to be there for all the children that are allowed into the school.
Yeah, that's what Fiona's doing, yeah.
Frontline work.
Quite dangerous for them, actually, Susan.
I think it is. I worry
I
about
don't
her.
like it. Yeah, no, I don't like that either.
Carrie's much luckier. She can do all her teaching online. She teaches at the local college here, and she doesn't just do teaching. She does youth employment as well. She finds apprenticeships and things for these kids. She teaches the older children, so she does a lot online. So she doesn't have to go into the college, which I'm very glad about. They've had a lot of kids in the college, so I'm very pleased that she's
Well,
not.
you know, Rebecca calls children the rats. She says it's what the rats did the last pest, and now they're the rats. They're giving because they're the ones that, you know,
Spreading it around. Oh,
it's not very nice, you know, when you think these little things. But the trouble is, when we've seen them here in France, I mean, we've got curfew here at 6 o'clock. In Monaco, it's 7 o'clock, but our restaurants are open. And a lot of our shops are open, but we've got more cases because the French came in bringing the COVID with them because they're all closed down.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, we're all closed down. Apart from food
awful,
shops.
isn't it? You can't get out the restaurant at all, can you? No, it's really
very boring. Boring.
it's hard work. You've got to cook then. You can't just sort of. You can't just sort of go to a restaurant or go and get some. I suppose you can takeaways, but I think we've had enough of it now. I think we could start seeing some hope.
Very,
Yeah.
very
We really need to, I think.
Yeah,
and
I
people are
agree.
getting emotional. I mean, we've got an English shop here that does all our English things, which I get from time to time, sausages, bacon, you know, the Tiptree or whatever it is, jams, all the piccalillis and all that sort of thing. Well, she has a smallish shop with a lot of things around, and so she puts her table in front and serves people one at a time, because she doesn't want them coming in to touch, to bring anything in, because she's the only one with another girl there that deals with it. Well, the other day, this man came in, pushed his way forward and got into the shop. So she, you know, she said, get out or something. And one of the women that was there said, you know, don't talk to her like that. You just leave her alone, because we're only doing things to protect you, the public, and everybody. And of course, he turned around and punched this girl that stood up for him. So they got the police around. But I mean, what we're having is funny things like that. People are sort of, I don't know whether they're frustrated or what, but I mean, it's ridiculous.
Ultimate doctors.
I don't know whether they were English, don't they? Of English, it could be English speaking, but oh, I don't know. In any case, she was quite upset about that.
I'm sure.
I guess so.
They say mental illness, isn't it? It's all,
Yeah.
we're all going mental.
Well, the trouble is, we're stuck in one. I mean, unless I'm fortunate that. Unfortunately, I've got a lot to do. You know, I've got a lot to do, and I've had to be a bit quiet with the need to rest. Fortunately, and I've found some really good books that I'm really enjoying at the moment. And also, you see, we can eat out in Monaco, so it lifts you. That 1 or 2 days, or whatever it is, 2 or 3 days that we can. That makes a change, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's the lack of variety. This
Yeah.
is the sameness of every day.
Yeah.
Well, I wake up every morning and I think, what the hell is today? And I have to really get my brain in gear to think, oh yeah, it's Wednesday or Thursday or whatever it happens to be. It's awful. That's what I think is trying and getting us all down.
Yes. It's very difficult to remember what day it is, what the date is.
Yes, yes. Exactly. And each day is the same. Well, it is for me anyway.
No, I agree with you. I can wake up and I think, oh, what is it today? You do, because you're sort of in similar patterns, but not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true.
You mentioned that you were moving next
week.
week.
I haven't been out of the house.
Have you not?
I haven't been to a shop or a restaurant. Restaurants are closed. We go for a walk most mornings in the park, Knoll Park, and come home.
You're lucky you can do that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Jill can't. She'd get frozen.
Sorry?
Yeah, well, even if I
Jill would
could,
get frozen, she can't even.
yeah.
True.
And
I get out with my dogs, which is great because there's lots of places around here where there's nobody around, and also I've got a neighbour next door. Bless her, she's lovely. I think she thinks I'm a bit of an old dear, so she looks after me. And she's
Terrible thing to say.
to go for a walk. So I said, yes, you can have my dog. And she goes for a walk as well. So the dogs are doing extremely well. They're out all the time. But on over the weekend, Kerry comes round, and that's nice. We can go down on Barbican Beach and take the dogs down there, and it's brilliant, and it's really lovely to get some fresh air and run the beach.
That must be so nice.
It's beautiful, lovely.
Yeah.
I know, I really appreciate that, and we enjoy that very much. And the dogs absolutely love it. So at least I've got a beach within walking distance. So that's really nice. But no, I don't go anywhere else really, apart from Sainsbury's once a week with my mask and Kerry after me, and that's it. It's very boring.
Brenda, do you get out? Brenda, do you get out?
I go out every day with the dog.
Yes.
I walk every day, and I usually see friends doing the same thing. So
yes.
So yes, otherwise I get out. Good
That's
to
something
see
about
you.
having a dog, isn't it? You always meet nice doggy people, and I always get on with people that have got dogs. I don't know why.
Mm.
They
Let's
all
stand
seem
and
to be
talk for
nice
hours.
people.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny. I never know their names. I always know the names of their dogs, but I never know their names. But we chat away, you know, like we're old friends. But it's nice. Yes, it's at least you can have
Your
a little
neighbour
chat.
looks at you and thinks you're an old girl.
Mm.
And there's a couple round the corner from here. They're gay. They're lovely. And when they were in the first bit of lockdown, and they took up cooking, and they got a very elderly neighbour. They told me. So they took a cake round and they got the tin and they said, "We think you might like this," and they sort of proffered it to her. So she said, "Oh, that's very nice." And she said, "You're very nice. That's lovely." And she opened it up and she, so she looked at it, and it was a pie. A fruit. They said, "Oh yes, it's fruit that they picked or something." I mean, it was all very, very special for her. And when they were just going to buy, she, "I do like savoury."
Oh,
So, well, we couldn't. He just laughed. He said, "We made her meat pie for the next."
Oh, Vera, are you cooking your dinner tonight?
Well, sometime, yes.
You should have the little treasure I've got.
Is he?
He's just come and told me my dinner's ready.
Oh, good boy. Oh, good boy.
Lucky you.
indeed.
Maybe we
Uh,
end
yeah.
on that note, huh?
Yeah, I have to phone our local CAO at the village office. I got a message from him about 3/4 of an hour ago. And I said, "Nah, sorry, I'm on a Zoom call to the UK. Too bad." So I guess I better follow up. Right?
That's so important.
No, it's good.
When do you
It's
want
lovely to see you all.
It
Yeah,
is.
it is.
It's lovely to see you.
Lovely
Yeah.
to see you
like to
all.
speak again?
Yeah.
Do you
Been a
like
real tonic. Lovely.
March?
I'm sorry.
Would you like the middle of March when we actually Zoom again?
Yeah.
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 If this
I don't think we're going anywhere. I don't want another people.
well, the
I
thing
know I'm not going anywhere.
that really,
That would be lovely.
Oh,
but moving next week, Pauline. You said I'm
yeah.
trying to get that question. Where are
Yeah.
you going?
Well, in Monaco, we're moving, but we're moving from one apartment to another. But it's because the owner of the apartment we've been in for about 12 years there, daughter's got a baby and she wants to take it back for this daughter because of the difficulties of French properties or whatever. In any case, so they did it. I didn't really want to move, but the baby was so lovely, and we've got a little balcony which I've done in pink with certain things, and I mean they just thought that was wonderful. So it was good to know that we've got a nice little girl sort of appreciating what we've done, if you like. And we found a new one which is in the same complex, but just a little bit down. So we've got the same concierge, we've got the same place, place where we do all our shopping or we get it delivered now. But and we're moving actually physically. We've been doing it all last week, but physically we're moving on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And
Good luck with the move.
it's a similar sort of apartment, similar size, a better view. It's got a view of the sea. But I really felt it was a good find. I was very grateful that my prayers were answered, really, because we just couldn't stand a big move and going around here, it's not like that. In any case, listen, I think that the potatoes are getting soft or hard or whatever they do. But really good seeing you all. It really is. Really good. And
Give our love to those missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good day for you all.
Lovely seeing you. Is it me that I got to do it?
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Yeah, yeah, lovely seeing you.
You all look great, by the way.
Yeah, so you.
Don't we look wonderful?
We do. There is obviously something about St. Joseph's.
Yes. It must have been the air or something.
No. Sorry, now,
Bye.
hold on. How do I turn this off? I do cross up the end. Bye.
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 God bless. See you.
Uh,
End meeting, and that is.